I just want to give a quick shout out to the new hat. I got a Shroot Farms Beats hat. Definitely worth an Amazon purchase.
What's your name and age?
I am Joey Adams. I am 25, 2 months, 2 weeks.
Where are you right now?
I am at my parents' in Gun Lake in Middleville, Michigan.
Tell me about yourself in one sentence.
I am a learner. Through trials and tribulations, through the good, bad, and the ugly, I'm always trying to improve on myself and to become a better version of myself.
Mountains or beach?
Right now it's getting a bit colder, so I'm gonna have to say the beach.
If you were a tree, which tree would you be and why?
I was in Aspen, where it was like the height of the color, and all of the aspens were just golden. It was so bright, it was like burning your eyes. It was so gorgeous, and the reason that aspen trees, they're in clusters because there's a root system underneath that connects them all. So if one aspen tree starts to turn yellow, then everything else within that cluster will turn them yellow. So the aspen is kind of like the communicator, like glue that's gonna hold the system together. And I like to think that sometimes I'm like that person who's kind of holding the group together or making things come to action. So aspen tree.
What's the last book you read?
The last book I read was I Know Where the Caged Bird Sings. I'm currently reading the New Testament with my small group.
What's your favorite song right now?
Ooh La La by the Faces. It's effectively about all those lessons that you learn in life, the hard lessons that you have to learn by your own doing.
What's your favorite movie right now?
500 Days of Summer. As I continue to watch it, as I get older, I realize there's a lot of changes and differences and motifs within the movie that I hadn't realized in the past, such as Tom is not the good guy, though he is the protagonist.
List one of your pet peeves.
When someone tells you that they didn't do something because they're busy, I'm busy too, and I'm taking time out of my day to help you out. Don't tell me you're busy, just get it done.
List one of your pet Steves.
I think it's probably the same as what I answered last month. When someone comes back and just affirms you on something that you're able to teach them or coach them through.
How would your mother describe you in one sentence?
My mother would say that I'm very religious.
If you could live in one period of time for a week with no impact on the future generations, when would it be and why?
I would choose San Francisco in the mid to late 60s because there was just so much change happening, and a lot of it stemmed from movements within the Bay. But being able to experience them, I think, would be a really cool cultural experience.
What's something you've noticed in the past month that surprised you?
How great of a support network I have with my friends. And I think it boils down to, one, you could say I just have great friends, but two, I've done a good job of choosing these friends, and I think both are true.
What's something you're looking forward to this year?
Getting a ski pass and going skiing. I didn't have a ski pass last year when I was in Denver, and I went 0 times. So this year, myself and quite a few of my friends are getting ski passes. We're getting the Epic Pass, so we're going to be checking out the local resorts.
Tell me about a tradition that you have.
I like to listen to actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, and it's by Rob Cantor. I would say every year, probably since the 8th grade, I've watched that video at least once in October, if not dozens of times.
What was your biggest lesson learned in the past 12 months?
Invest in those who invest in you and stop investing in those who don't. But my biggest lesson in the past month, don't be afraid to be vulnerable with people. I think being vulnerable with someone, especially someone that you're trying to build a romantic relationship with, is good. And just because it didn't work out in the past, or just because someone didn't give you the respect that you deserve in the past, doesn't mean you should limit yourself in the future, because you're just going to hurt yourself twice that way. Or you're going to get hurt twice that way.
What's your life motto?
My life motto is, I'm not sure where I'm headed, but I haven't gotten lost yet. One that I really like, though, is may your home always be too small to hold all of your friends.
Define success.
Success is being happy every single day.
Finish this. I'll know I've made it when.
This is always the hardest one for me to answer. I'll know I've made it when I can truly say I've had an impact on another person's life.
What's something you're insecure about?
Definitely insecure about my body.
What's your favorite part about yourself?
My favorite part about myself is my ability to connect with others, even if we don't have a built relationship.
What's a lesson that you experienced but didn't learn from in the past year?
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. We also have promotion decisions coming up in the next week and a half or 2 weeks. So I'm hoping I don't have to relearn that lesson this upcoming week.
Tell me something that you regret from the past month.
I was seeing this girl for about a month and a half, and then things abruptly ended. Kind of as I realized they ended because I didn't really get closure on the situation. I was hiking, and I just had this kind of smug look on my face, and I was upset, but also I was upset about being upset. So as I was talking through and processing multiple different situations at once, this kind of all aligned, and I realized I was upset about the situation, which was fine, but I was upset at myself for being upset about the situation because I wanted to have this great day and I just wanted to enjoy the hike. And I was so focused on enjoying the hike and wanting to enjoy the hike and not being able to do that because I had other emotions that I needed to process, that it ended up kind of just perpetuating into a worse problem. So the first thing I had to do was tell myself, one, acknowledge that it's going to get worse before it's going to get better, which was 100% true and will continue to be true in situations like that. And two, understand it's okay to be upset about the situation. You're allowed to have these feelings. You're allowed to just be in the dumps. So those were the two things I had to do for myself, and I don't regret doing that. What I do regret was being upset that I was upset and not allowing myself to just feel and not allowing myself to process the situation how I needed to do so in the moment.
Tell me something that you don't regret from the past month.
I put together a meetup of all of my friends in Denver, which is 3. They knew of each other, but we had never interacted as a group. So I brought everyone together and we played spike ball at Washington Park, and everyone just got along so great, and I want to continue building those relationships individually, but not necessarily siloed from each other.
Who are you?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
What's one piece of advice you would give yourself a year ago?
So, for context, a year ago, I was here, and at this point, I just would have found out that I was going to be moving to Denver. So one piece of advice I would give that Joey, I guess 2 pieces of advice. The first is, you're moving, get as much out of Michigan as you can in the next few months, because you're going to miss it. I absolutely did that, and I don't regret that at all. The second part is try to meet as many people as possible when you get to Denver as soon as possible. That was another thing I think I did pretty well. Definitely could have done better, but there's growth and learning in moving into a new city. So the 2 takeaways are get as much out of Michigan as possible while you still can, and meet as many people in Denver as soon as you get there.
So you talked about, you'll know you made it when you made an impact on someone. I feel like that's ill-defined, where you're not gonna ever feel like you've made it, if that's how you define it. So I was wondering if you could speak more to what exactly you're looking for with making an impact on others.
So I think there's a perpetual cycle, which is good. Because if you're constantly chasing the dream to impact others, then you're right. A lot of times you're not going to see the result of that. You're not going to see the yield. You're not going to see what you pull from it. You're only going to see what you're able to catalyze and the impact that you're able to make in the short term. I think that's part of the chase, and I think that's part of what makes me want to become better for myself, such that I can be better for other people. When I say I want to impact someone's life, or I want to make some sort of change for the better in someone's life, how do you quantify that? How do you see that? I think a lot of times you're not going to see that, and that's part of, again, what is part of the cycle of trying to just be the best version of myself, such that I can radiate that into others' lives and try to impact them through that. Any song recommendations you have for the crowd?
I always like Congratulations by MGMT. It's always my go-to.
All right. Perfect. Thanks, Leif. Thanks for your time.
Yep.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.